You guys, I am excited for the week that is just currently happening. I know sometimes, especially as entrepreneurs, we can be so, I said this earlier, but like vision oriented, right? We can be so living 5 weeks, 5 days, even potentially 5 minutes from where we are, and to just learn to be present in what God has offered us in this moment. And so I'd love to hear with you guys, like, what are some things that God has you excited about right now in this season? And where are some areas that, well, I'll start there. What are you excited about right now in this season? You can unmute. I see some people jumping in the chat already.
I can share.
Let's go, Chris.
I'm driving, so I have my camera off.
Okay.
But I so I've been watching this show on Netflix while I'm eating lunch called Quarterbacks, which is about like them following these elite quarterbacks in the NFL. Um,
Cool.
and just seeing what they do on a daily basis and like how they train their bodies is just insane. Like it is just a nonstop, never-ending commitment to like excellence.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was watching it yesterday, God like hit me with some revelation, and He said, "I need you to train your mind the way that these athletes train their body, because your greatest weapon is your mind." And it was just like it just like hit me so deeply. And I thought, man, I mean, look at how much time they spend in the gym, how much time they spend in physical therapy, how focused they
Mm-hmm.
are on their food. Like their body is their greatest weapon on the field. And God was like, Chris, your mind is your greatest weapon on the battlefield. Like you're a speaker and you're a leader and you're a coach. And so your mind is the equivalent to their body. Like that is your greatest weapon against the opponent, your adversary, the devil. And it just created this like crazy conviction and excitement of like, wow, I really have to take care of my mind, because usually I push my mind to the brink of like burnout, where it's just
Yeah.
like I don't rest it as much as it should. And you look at these athletes and they spend so much time resting their bodies as well as like getting them to perform. And so God just like gave me this amazing revelation, and it just got me so excited, because now I see my mind, because I've always had this fascination with like excellence, like the best of the best, like the greatest athletes, and and the lifestyles they live, and the commitment and the determination, and all of those things that they have. And I've always wanted that. Like I have this deep desire for that kind of like greatness. And God just showed me like your desire, like that expression of what you want is your mind. Like that is your weapon against the enemy, and you need to train your mind like these athletes train their body. And it has just made a shift in my perspective of the way that I see things, so much so that last night I was right before I went to bed. It was like 10 o'clock, and I was going to start working on the Bible study for this morning, and get my mind in the whole thinking and studying phase. And I was like, no, I need to rest my mind. And I actually went to bed at 10 o'clock. I haven't gone to bed at 10 o'clock in like years, like
Yeah,
in
I'm so
years. And I have
proud
to
of
wake up at
you.
5 a.m. every day to do the 6 a.m. Bible study. So I usually sleep like 5 hours. And I went to bed last night because I was like, no, my mind, right? This is like an athlete's body. It needs to rest to recover. And I was just like, what in the world? And I slept 7 hours, woke up early, and put together the call for this morning. The call went amazing. And I was just like, wow. And it felt so good to have that shift in my mind, because I've always used my mind, but I haven't stewarded it very well. I haven't taken care of it very well. I run it to the point of exhaustion, to where I'm mentally so like exhausted that I have to decompress and just like watch a show to like not think. And so God has just given me this new perspective on what my mind is, and how I can literally train it to perform like an elite athlete. And like what I do off the field, like He was showing me, like, they're only on the field for 2 or 3 hours, like on the actual football field playing a real game. They're only on
Yeah.
that field for 2 or 3 hours a week, yet they train 50 or 60 or 70 hours a week, so that when they step on that field, they're just on autopilot. And God was just showing me, like, you're going to step on the battlefield, but it's the time that you spend in my word off the battlefield, preparing for the battle, that when you step on that stage, I'm going to give you a word. I'm going to give you a verse. When you're having that coaching call, like, it's all going to be provided, but it's the work that you do, outside of that. So I've just got this whole new perspective that my mind is the equivalent to an elite athlete's body, and I got to take care of it the way they do. So I'm like crazy excited, and it just feels like it's a new level of maturity for me.